Yeah. Don't mean to have y'all waiting. Don't mean to have y'all staying around. Let's get it right to it. It's WAM Talk Wednesdays. Y'all know what it is. It's your boy, Trot Wham OG. You feel me? Hey, live right now from Periscope, Twitter, my Twitter page, Trot Wham, and we live on Who-Bangin Sports Talk. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube channel. Let's get right to it. How y'all feeling today? I know I got some people up in here. Let me try to hit up the chat. What's good with the Joe Anisis of the world? What's up with you? You know what I mean? We up in here live. We're gonna try to get something, something started off with this NBA card. It's Wednesday. You know, it's all type of things going on. You know what I mean? It's some good. It's actually a pretty good card. I mean, a lot of y'all, I already seen a lot of you guys like some plays out there. You know what I'm saying? What's good with you, Joe Nisi? I see you, bro. Hey, but I see a lot of y'all liking what y'all see out there already. Y'all tweeting out. So I'm about to just give my 2 cents. And, it's Wednesday. I'm coming in there just to, what I'm saying, see if it, makes sense to anybody else. Let's get right to it. So let's start off with this New York Knicks, Philadelphia. Now, y'all already seen me on Twitter. If you're watching from Twitter, you can look at the pinned tweet ahead. And I'm sorry, y'all, that link with the YouTube, it doesn't work because I had to make some other stuff, make some arrangements. Sorry about that, y'all. But for the most part, we're going to get right to it, though, with this Knicks Philadelphia game. Now, this is the fourth game for both of these teams in 7 days. As far as New York Knicks, they've been off a 3-game homestand. Let's know home cooking sometimes isn't the best. They actually have a pretty good attendance at Madison Square Garden, so they've been getting, they've been seeing some people. It is New York, you know what I mean, but those tickets are expensive. I remember my man Pistol Pete. I seen he went to the Nets game not too long ago to see the Knicks. Those seats probably was way cheaper than those seats was probably way cheaper than the ones that give the Knicks. But they have a good attendance. You know what I'm saying? They had 3 games the last time at home. They last 3 games at home. The opposite for Philadelphia. Their last 3 games were on the road. They actually had a little struggle as well. You know what I mean? So you're looking into Philly coming in this game. It's a big, hefty spread. We put a line up as far as the spread goes. Right now the money line is -800, -1,000 in some spots. Ridiculous. You feel me? The spread is at 12.5. 12 at some spots. You can get 12 at Bet Online with Philadelphia. I'm not really liking the side here. Like I said before, this is the fourth game for both of them in a week. And if you look at it that way, that's a lot of legs. It's a lot of up and down for these players. You know what I'm saying? And look, if you really go all the way think into it, if you think all the way back into it, do you really want to back a team that's probably missing one of their best defenders and Josh Richardson? They got Josh Richardson out today, so I don't think I want to back Philadelphia to be all the way in there. But do I want to take the Knicks? Hell no, I don't want to take the Knicks. And let's start off why we don't want to take the Knicks. They 27th at pace. They're 28th in offensive rating. You know what I'm saying? And then they're 19th in defensive rating. Now, the only thing that you got good to say about the Knicks is that they're actually #1 in offensive rebounds in the league so far. And let's just be honest, we're actually like a 10th in between the seasons. It's like almost 10% done of this season. So you can look at all these teams and see which one is going to multiply this production that they did so far by 10. I can honestly look at Knicks right now and say they probably are going to be not that good of an offensive team because their guard play has been trash. Alonzo Trier, ISO Zoe, whatever they want to call him, you feel me? He hasn't been really living up to potential. You know what I mean? He did play well in Arizona. He did have some flashes here and there, but he's not the point guard that they need. Now, Frank Ntilikina, whatever his name is, I'm sure I'm messing up it. Like y'all know, WAM Talk Wednesdays, we bound to mess up somebody's last name here. But Frank has actually been playing pretty well for the Knicks. So I could look back at them to, making that pick, and we all actually scrunched our nose. It didn't look right. We don't know what this guy is coming from France as far as Frank is, but he's actually been playing pretty good. But go back into the terrible shit about these motherfuckers, man. Now, let's be honest. The Knicks aren't that good of an offensive team, but they actually are like top 7 or top 10 or something like that in 2-point attempts. So they actually go in there and they go straight to the hole. They got 2-point attempts on their mind when they're having the ball in transition. They have 2-point attempts in their mind when they're on half court. They're actually 30th. They're 30th. They're ranked dead last damn near in 2-point percentage, field goal percentage. So they're shooting up all these jump shots within the underneath, inside the lines, inside the 3-point line, and they're missing at a higher rate than anyone in the league. So that's another go right there. You know what I mean? On why we're leaning the way we're leaning. First off, go into what they're doing on the perimeter as far as offensively. They're ranked 22nd in 3-point attempts. So they don't really shoot that many threes. And on top of that, maybe this is the reason why they're ranked so last as far as the field goal percentage. I mean, ranked so high as far as field goal percentage in threes, because everyone else is shooting a lot of threes. They're shooting the least amount of threes, but they're actually hitting at like 14th. They're actually like in the top 14 percentile in the league right now. So they're actually playing okay as far as knocking down threes. But let's be honest, they don't have really that good of a guard play coming off. So you're not really expecting them to make a off the ball dribble 3-pointer or maybe a spot up shooter. They don't have really that much of a spot up shooter. I think their best 3-point shooter right now is the Morris twins. So I'm not really leaning on that, right? You know what I mean? We're not leaning on that. And let's just go back into what they're actually good at. I think I may have mentioned it. They're actually top number 1 in offensive rebounds. So they do get a lot of rebounds, but again, they're going to shoot a lot of 2-pointers, and they're not going to make those 2-pointers. So we got to look into that and think about what they're going to do in this game here against Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia, on the other hand, they're actually not that good in offensive rebounds. That's the funniest thing about capping this game to me. I didn't see that they're really that good having offensive rebounds. So I looked into this game. I was thinking maybe they probably find the edge, with the shooting. Come on now. This is Philadelphia. You guys see their roster. Look, hands down, they don't really have that many shooters off their roster. They lost shooters last year. And then you look into what they're bringing as far as production for this game. They have Thibault most likely starting, which is a great pickup. I mean, which is a great, addition to their team, playing really good defense. I think he's like number 1 in steals or up there as far as top 3 in steals. So he's playing pretty good as far as defending, but I don't bank on him to hit, nice big jumper. So I'm looking into this game as far as an under perspective. It just makes the most sense to me. Both of these teams are trending under when they're playing on the home or on the road. I think the last let me look up this. The last 3 games as far as divisional games for the Knicks, they all went under. And then as far as the last, I believe, 6 on the road, as far as the last 6 on the road, they lost that game. But going to what I'm playing here, we're going to just go right into it, bro. I'm taking the 76ers first half under 109. It makes the most sense to me. We could get right to the next game because I don't really have to say too much there, but that's what I'm really liking right there. So I'm taking 76ers first half, 109. I know it took a long time for me to cap that game, but come on now. It's really all about the Knicks. We already look at the spread like, hey, 76ers are a big spread, but come on. It's about the Knicks. The Knicks don't really have that much offensive power, even though I like the way Julius Randle been playing as of late, and he's probably one of the best rebounders they have, but let's go right back into the next game here. So my next game, it's one of those games that, if you a first half, you a first quarter, if you a early bettor like I am, you taking this game, you know what I mean? You're liking this game because it's one top tier opponent that's coming in here motivated. They're motivated because you trust their team, you trust their coach, you trust what they have as far as the culture wise, which is the Miami Heat against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers, they actually have been playing okay as of late, you know what I mean? They haven't been too trash, but as far as a fade material type of team, you definitely would put them in that category. You definitely would think that, what they have on the roster is inferior compared to what Miami Heat has. They have the young man Nunn, who came out of nowhere, Kendrick Nunn, the guard from Miami Heat. He's a good player, a great addition. He's been killing it on fantasy. That money's been going up on FanDuel. So you look at that. I'm looking at that like he's getting respect now. The line is starting to respect the Heat. That's why the line is at -10. So I believe it opened up for this game. Let's go right here. It opened up here. Well, I actually have it at -10, -10 at Five Dimes, -10 at Pinnacle. The opener was at 10, so the line it moved a little bit towards Miami. I remember it came back a little bit. And I think a lot of that has to do with Tristan Thompson being out. I mean, they have Kevin Love. He's possibly going to play in this game, so we already not really worried about him, you know, doing anything that's going to stop this team. As far as he's a great player, he doesn't have what he used to have when he was in Minnesota. At least as far as what he has around him, and especially if they have one of their best players this year, in my opinion. I feel like as far as Tristan Thompson has been one of their best both two-way players this year. So if they missing him, that's really not that much of a big up. But shout out to Sexton. Sexton's been playing pretty good. I don't really have too much bad to say about him as far as his defense, but going into what we're going to go and what we're leaning on, we're liking Miami here. I like them early. They've been cashing, and I'm going to keep riding it. I think they're 8-1 in the first 8-1 in the first half as far as ATS wise. And right now we got them at -6 on the first half. So you could lock that one in for me. I'm taking -6 first half, Miami Heat. It just makes the most sense to me. They've been already hot. Tyler Euro, the other boy, Jimmy Buckets, they've been playing really well. And like I said, Kendrick Nunn has really surprised me. So I'm going all the way in on Miami. And I took the first half -6, and I'm also going to take the first quarter -3. Now, first quarters have been pretty profitable for as far as Miami. I'm looking for them to duplicate this same thing and same intensity this game. They're starting off hot, so let's continue that. Now, I kind of want to go into the chat. I've been just running my mouth and shit, you know what I mean? I'm sorry about that, y'all. Shout out to Big Ragu. What's good? What's good? What's good? Joe Anisi. What's happening? And there it is. Nakila. And come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm not about to try that. I'm not about to try that, bro. Come on now. Frank, though, he's been playing really well for the Knicks. What's good with you, man? What's that? Hit lick? What's cracking with you, my guy? You know what I'm saying? We up in here. But I mean, I do want to kind of go into the next game just where I won't keep y'all up. We only 12 minutes in, 13 minutes in, so I ain't trying to go through rush it. But let's talk about this Bucks Atlanta game. And I don't really have a play for this game, but I wanted to see what everybody was else at. It don't really make no sense for you to take the Atlanta Hawks in this situation because you're looking at this game. You might see Chris Middleton play. You might not see him play. I'm not sure if he's been playing right now. But as far as like what the NBA has been doing lately, they haven't been trustworthy. NBA hasn't been trustworthy. For example, the next game that I'm on is an example of that. But they've been switching the players from being questionable to being playing. Like that's normal, right? That's normal. And then they'll switch the players from being out to playing. That isn't normal. Then sometimes these guys will be all the way dialed in on the starting lineup to get the last 3 games, and then out of nowhere they'll be out of the game. So you don't really have a lot of confidence in some of these lineups, or at least especially in some of these projective lineups that you'll see. But I'm looking in this game though. I'm looking in this game as far as the Bucks Atlanta Hawks. I honestly would think the Hawks makes the most sense in this, in my opinion, because I'm not saying Jabari Parker is a great player, or somebody that's going to be able to impact the game tremendously or put the team on his back or anything like that. But I could just see some sort of motivation from him coming into this game. I don't want to discount that. You know what I mean? I don't want to go ahead and just be like, Bucks are going to come over here and take this game all the way out. We're going to take the first half, full game. I don't think that's going to be the case in this game. I think that this might be a good time for Trae Young to, put on display against a really great team. And the team kind of goes in and be collective. I like their coach. I like Bembry. You know what I mean? He's a really good defender. If you watch Bembry on the Hawks, he's usually guarding one of the best wings on their team. So I could honestly see him playing Giannis, but I mean, he's not going to be able to stop Giannis, though. Don't get me wrong, but he's getting that type of credibility, you know what I mean, in the defensive way. He's been playing like a lot of the best players. So, but let's go into I see somebody out here, you know what I mean, hit me up telling me, hey, let's go into the next play. What you think about this play right here? This is one of the plays that I actually capped early. This one had no line until early this morning. It's the Utah Minnesota game. And I kind of just went by, the Hawks and Bucks because, come on, like I don't really have too much faith in. I don't have too much faith in the Bucks in this spot, and I don't have too much faith in Atlanta. But at the same time, I can see Atlanta covering that spread. Going into this spot though, with the next one, Utah, Minnesota. Now I looked at this game as more like a pick 'em if Wiggins is playing. You know what I mean? I looked at this game more like a pick 'em if Wiggins was playing. So right now, one of those examples that I was letting you guys know that Wiggins is getting conflicted reporting out there. They're getting conflicted reporting out there. Some are saying that he's out. Some are saying that he's going to be a game time decision. Now, this is one of those scenarios I believe that you guys got to be on the lookout for, because everyone that I'm seeing is all good enough to take enough, all good and gun happy to take Utah. They all gun happy to take Utah. In this case, bro, I really believe that Minnesota maybe could duplicate the last game that they just had. Now, let's go into what they just recently did. They just played on Monday. Donovan Mitchell had a bad game. He was 5 from 23 from the field. Bogdanovich played well, but he fouled out towards the end of the game. And Ingles, as far as the Utah Jazz main contributors we just dropped, Ingles, Bogdanovich, and Donovan Mitchell, they all weren't all the way dialed in. Now, I know a lot of people love to talk about Mike Conley and the Mike Conley edition, but I want to be real clear here. Now, this might be the best, this might be the soundbite of what WAM Talk Wednesday was about. Mike Conley hasn't really did that much in quite some time. He hasn't. Don't get me wrong. Great player, great teammate, I'm sure. I never hear anything bad about him. He's always showing up. He plays pretty well at times. Don't get me wrong. He plays well at times. He's really, you could see it in him. You could definitely see the all-star in him. But I don't believe as of late, if you really look back at all the games that you're able to see on Mike Conley, going all the way back to his last 2 years in Memphis, he hasn't been that impressive. He hasn't been one of those teammates or one of those players that's going to elevate a team to push them out of the funk. They don't really have that much of a good coach, in my opinion, as well. I like Quinn Snyder early on, but as of late, he hasn't really did too much, or he hasn't made the right adjustments to make this team a better team, in my opinion. I feel like some of the things that they should be implementing into their offense, they haven't been really doing it, as far as a lot of the screen action, baseline cutting, and as far as getting Gobert involved, as far as more, they don't really do too much of that. So I don't really like their game plan, first off, and then you add on a player that hasn't really been that productive or that impactful like Michael Conley, and you hoping for him to have a major impact. I don't really see that in this game. I do see Minnesota having some trouble, you know what I mean, shooting the ball consistently. Don't get me wrong. But if you really go back into what they've been doing as of late, they've been scoring pretty well. You know what I mean? They've been scoring pretty well. They're actually number one in points per game in the first quarter. But you flip that on the other side, Utah is number one at opposing first quarter games. But if you look at the last game, it kind of showed you who they're really relying on. They're relying on Bogdanovich. They're relying on Donovan Mitchell. And Joe Ingles is kind of getting the pass at this point. I know he plays, he kind of tries to play some sort of defense, but, Joe Ingles is getting mixed and digs every chance they get. They going after him. So he's not that type of defender that's going to be able to get you consecutive stops. He's not going to do that. So you don't have that much faith in him doing that. And on top of what Minnesota already showed you, what they're doing with Cat, they're moving him around. He's inside. He's out. He's mostly shooting these threes early on. If he knocks those first three down, it's going to be a problem for the rest of this game. You know what I mean? So I'm looking for Wiggins to actually play. I'm starting off saying that. I think Wiggins is actually going to play. They're showing that he's out. They're showing us his game time decision. I think he's going to play. I'm taking that chance. This is what we do best. I'm taking it, and I'm taking Minnesota +3, and I'm also taking the first half money line Minnesota. That's my big boy right there. That's my big boy bet for the day right there. To be honest with y'all, I'm taking Minnesota first half money line +110. It makes the most sense to me. I mean, I'm doing this just off of, what I seen the last game and also what I'm expecting to see out of this game with Utah. I don't think they're going to have, Donovan Mitchell is going to play better than 5 from 23. Don't get me wrong. He's going to play better than that. But is that going to be enough to cancel out what Cat production is going to be? I don't think so, right? Then if you think about as far as what the role players are, as far as Utah, they don't really have that many standout role players. I do like that they have they have Bogdanovich, and he's been balling. But I mean, if you rely on him to do too much, then that's really much how I look at this game. But going into that game, that's my 3 plays so far. You know what I mean? I'm on 76ers. 76ers first half, 109. I think that's just going to be a slow-paced game, even though the Knicks are going to have all the opportunities in the world. They're just going to keep shooting 2-pointers, and they're still going to shoot those all the way down to the depth of them. You know what I'm saying? So my next play I took is Miami first quarter -3, and I took them first half -6. I just feel like this team has already shown that they're really good in the first quarter, first half. So you got to ride them, especially against weaker opponents like the Cavaliers. So it makes the most sense to me. And then we're going to go right back to what I was saying before. I don't think Cat is not going to be that. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to ball out. I think Cat is going to ball out. I think, Gobert is going to have to come out to guard him. And that alone is going to have some issues with the Utah defense, let alone what they're going to have issues as far as, Teague actually having a problem, guarding him, Teague, let's just go here. A lot of people like Mike Conley edition. Could you tell me the last 2 years, has he played better than Jeff Teague? For real. Like, someone who is in the comments right now, do you guys think, what's up, bro? Like, you got to be playing. You feel Bucks nasty? Wiggins got to be playing. But, bro, check this out. Do y'all think Jeff Teague has played worse than Mike Conley these last few years? No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. So go back into what I said. I'm taking Minnesota first half money line. First half money line, that's the one I'm jumping on for sure. It's a plus money, and I got to do it like that. But at the same time, though, we just Who-Bangin Sports Talk. Y'all see me, man. I'm a little, I really just woke up. I'm going to keep it G with y'all, man. I got me switching up my schedule. I could try to, I'm trying to come in here, but it's cool, though, because I get still cap at the job. You feel me? I get to cap at the job, so it's cool. You know what I mean? I get to have all day to cap at the job, but they got me some weird ass schedule, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to get to this money both ways. You know what I'm saying? We're going to work double time. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But let's get to this bag. I know a lot of y'all probably want, I put in the description, it's the Boston Celtics, Los Angeles Clippers. Man, I just put that in the description to have y'all think that I was going to talk about that game. Hell no, I ain't talking about that game. I was just joking. So, you got Paul George coming back, playing for the first time. I think he's playing with Kawhi Leonard. And I know both of them probably are going to play this game. I'm not really banking on Boston Celtics to continue what they've been doing because they've been playing really well, but I don't think they're going to continue what they're doing. Playing against an elite defensive team. The Clippers, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Let's go all the way into it. Doc Rivers is a great coach. He still has the Clipper cloud over his head, though, man. I like, what the owner is doing. I was talking to my coworker when I was capping this game. Bro straight up told me, man, you don't want to bet the Clippers, bro. And that alone, I'm gonna tell y'all the same thing. Y'all don't want to bet the Clippers, bro. Get up out of here. This is your boy Trot Wham Talk. We tried to do this real quick, real brief. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm just talking that shit real quick, man. You know how it is. I'm kind of about to go take a nap. You know what I'm saying? Go eat a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Go watch a TV. You know what I'm saying? Just try to get my mind off all these games. You feel me? But I want to go back into just letting y'all know what y'all could expect. I'm trying to do WAM Talk more so, in the daytime before the games. That way you could kind of watch the show, get a couple little, do your thing throughout the day, and then still be able to make your best and still be able to beat the line move. But I think you're gonna see a line movement on Minnesota. And if I'm right, you know what I'm saying, hit the retweet, hit the like, and if I'm wrong, you could just unfollow me because I ain't. You feel me? But y'all, if y'all hating, and get y'all money if y'all loving it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do what we doing all day. We're gonna be right here. We're gonna be right here. We're gonna be right here live every Wednesday. WAM Talk. You know what I'm saying? We got the Boston Assault Show coming on, I believe, tomorrow or tonight. I'm not sure. I believe Boss I believe Boss is in the chat, man. Boss, let them know when they can catch Boston Assault Show if you in the chat. And we got the Who-Bangin Lounge on Fridays every 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time. And if you're on the East Coast, it's 9 p.m. late night action. A lot of Pac-12 talk, a lot of Mountain West talk, a lot of Friday, a lot of Saturday basketball, and Saturday night football, whatever the case may be. We're gonna be talking about it. Last week we had David Boston. I want to shout out to David Boston, man. That was a great episode. That was a great Who-Bangin Lounge we had last week. We're gonna try to duplicate that this week. And you know how it is. Shout out to everybody else in here. Shout out to all my guys in the chat. My man locking in 24/7. You know what I'm saying? He said he got the Clippers -8. I mean, get down how you live, bro. Get down how you live. Boston Celtics, they do got some injuries. Get down how you live, player. I like that idea. But I mean, like my man said when I was at work, bro, he said, man, why would you bet the Clippers? It's like betting the Browns, bro. It's like betting the Browns. And on that note, we out of here. Peace, love. You feel me? WAM Talk, Who-Bangin Sports Talk, Trot Wham on Twitter. Lights.